Hi, my name is Ashley and I'm doing a PhD in the Department of English Language and Applied Linguistics. My PhD looks at cognitive predictors of children's language acquisition.
Hi, my name is Snigdha Sharma. I'm doing my Masters in Marketing at the University of Birmingham.
My name is Emma Plant and I'm doing a PhD in Applied Health Research and Epidemiology, investigating the long-term health effects for childhood cancer survivors.
My undergrad, I did a BA with a triple major in psychology, sociology and literature. I somehow ended up working in marketing after my degree. Everything I had learned in my course in my undergrad was still applicable, and I found myself to be enjoying what I was doing quite a bit. After that, doing a master's in marketing seemed like the most natural choice.
So in my undergrad, I focused specifically on special educational needs, and it's something I'm still quite passionate about. I used to work in a school, and what I then decided to do was actually to become an educational psychologist. So I went on and did a master's in psychology. During the process of this course, I fell in love with the psychology of language and decided that's what I wanted to do.
So I studied maths at undergrad, mostly because it was something I was good at school and it was seen as a very employable degree. But it wasn't really employable in the things that I wanted to do. Most of the jobs available to me after graduation were going to be in finance or teaching. I did want to do something that definitely I felt like helped other people. So that's how I ended up looking at some medical statistics modules in my last year of my degree, and then translated those to epidemiology after graduation.
Quite a few theoretical skills and quite a few life skills as well. Everything I was learning as a subject was very new, very fresh. I think I really learned how to work with people, how to present my ideas in front of maybe like 50 to 100 people in a class. A lot of opportunity to learn about real-time solutions, about how companies actually tackle marketing problems.
I've gained lots of knowledge on the more biological aspects, so particularly on cancer biology. I've also evolved my statistical and coding skills during my PhD, so it's been a really nice crossover of developing existing skills and learning new things.
So at master's level I did an MSc in psychology. You gain a lot of research skills. I learned a lot about statistics, which I had never done before, and overcoming that fear of statistics. You learn a lot, really, of lots of different angles that you didn't think you would. And that's the same now going into PhD studies. I'm gaining skills all the time that I didn't actually imagine I would. It's very diverse. I think be brave, take the leap, and don't be afraid to try it.
No matter what you've done in your undergrad, you'll always find that there are some transferable skills that you can always carry on.
The way the world is now, I think people do change and take chances and do different things, and I think don't be afraid of it, because you'll uncover a world of different opportunities in doing that.
If there's anyone you can talk to, be that at your university or someone in a career outside of university, about the subject that you're interested in, do.
Learning something new from scratch is always very appealing and very curious. Just have an open mind and have a positive outlook towards it.
I'd recommend seeking out any opportunities to test out your idea for a new discipline, subsidiary modules if you're still at university, volunteer opportunities, work experience. All of these will help with your application for postgraduate study, as well as helping you to make the decision of whether that change is right for you.